Hello all, this is Coach Allison with my living room edition of this week's Defy Aging. We are in week number 8 this week. So we are going to do a drop set this week. So drop set typically refers to dropping the weight that you're using for one exercise. So you do bicep curls with 20s, then maybe 15s, then 10s. The way we do it for Defy is a little bit different, but it still makes sense. We're gonna drop the reps instead of the weight. So we are gonna begin with 12 reps of every exercise we do. And then the next set we do 10 reps and then 8. So we're gonna drop it by 2 reps every set. So it's 6 exercises. So you'll go through it for all those different reps. Now, if you're in the gym or if you're at home and you wanna, add this little piece to it, it'd be great if you did. After you complete each set, you're gonna do 1 minute kind of a sprint. So that means going faster than a comfortable pace on one of our cardio equipment pieces. So elliptical, treadmill, bike, the rower. I think that's about it. If you're at home and you don't have the equipment, do a minute of jumping jacks or a minute of jump squats, a minute of mountain climbers, something considered cardio. Okay, let's go through our 6 exercises. Number 1, squat, lat, pull down. So of course, when you're in the gyms, you're gonna be doing this in your own space at your own pace. Nothing is timed. You're doing everything at your own speed. Okay, so you need a band for this. So your lats are your back muscles here. So a pull down is pulling something down with resistance to use those muscles to pull with. So we're gonna have the arms up at about a 45-degree angle. Can't see that. Up overhead, so not directly overhead, not straight out in front, kind of in the middle. We're gonna do a squat with those arms up, and that is tricky. A squat with arms overhead is challenging. And then we're gonna do the pull down as we at the top of the squat. So squats, sink those hips back, make sure your hips aren't staying forward and your knees are protruding over the feet like this. So squat is butt back like you're sitting in that imaginary chair. So squat, come up, pull apart and down, kind of making a W with your arms. You wanna be squeezing those elbows back. Bring the band to your upper chest, not down to the waist. So we're not pulling down here, we're pulling down here, elbows drop back. So when you're in your squat, try very hard to keep those arms up if they're gonna wanna fall down here. So try to keep your arms up. If you have what I just call sticky shoulders, that can be challenging, so your best. Okay, that's our squat, that pull down. Band back row, still with your band. We do these quite a bit. You're gonna step on your band. Whoops. Oh my goodness. This is why you wear shoes, so it doesn't get caught in between your toes. Cross the band, come into that 45-degree forward bend. So hips back, weight in your heels, slight bend in your knees. So we're not just folding, we're not rolling down like this, but flat back, pop out your hips. Palms turned inward, we pull up, squeeze the elbows back and together, and release down. So kind of from a side angle up, squeeze back, exhale with the lift. Make sure you are getting that shoulder blade squeeze. So when you're pulling back, your shoulders should actually switch position. So, for example, my shoulder is right here, obviously, right now. As I pull back, I retract my shoulder. Now it's kind of back here. So there should be some shoulder movement, so not just elbows up. Shoulder retraction, work on that. Kneeling bicep curl. We do a lot of half kneel. We're gonna do a double kneel. I think we had this, yes, we had this last week with our kneeling band row. So it's the same thing, just with the bicep curl. So grab 2 weights, you're on both knees, trying to stay up nice and tall. Okay, pretty much nice and straight. So we're trying to avoid overly arching the back and kind of leaning back. We're trying to avoid kind of folding forward at the waist or the hips. So up nice and tall, and you have weight in each hand, controlled bicep curls. And there we go. You're wanting to avoid like swinging, so none of this. And do let your arms come down to a full extension at the bottom of the curl. So this is a full extension and this is kind of a knot. So try to avoid this 3/4 of the way down and let your arms go all the way down. Reverse lunge to a front kick. This one's kind of fun. For this one, it's gonna be a total count, not each side. So you do 12 total, for example, for round 1, so 6 each side. Then the next round is 10, so 10 total and so on. That said, we step into a reverse lunge, so big step back, bend both knees as much as you're able, keeping your back straight. So by that I mean it's up and down. We're trying to avoid kind of folding forward. So bend both knees as much as you are comfortable. Step in and do a front kick. I'll show you where you can actually see my leg. So lunge back, front kick, switch sides, lunge back, front kick. So a lot of balance here. You can be near something to put your hand on if you'd like to. A kick, quick little tutorial on the kick. It seems like obvious, you know, kick something, but we want to do the kick properly. So we want to bring the knee up, extend the leg, bring it back and down. So I'll speed it up a little, and then I'll speed it up even more. So that's proper kick. We don't want to just kind of like more, we don't want it to be too dancey like Rocketti. We want to do a proper like kickboxing kick. So work on that as well. Okie dokie, if the lunges bother your knees, yes, you'll have to do a few more squats in that case, because I know we already had the squat pull down, but you'll do a squat to it front kick instead, if those reverse lunges perhaps bother your knees at all. If you have a knee issue, lunges can kind of aggravate that. So skaters is the next one. Now this count will be each side. So you count, you know, right, left, 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3. Skaters, you need a lot of space for this. So you're basically doing like a curtsy. You're taking one leg back behind the other, but we're also taking that same side arm, reaching towards the floor, okay? You don't have to touch the floor. And then you want to keep your head pretty level, meaning we don't want to bop all the way back up. So stay level, do a little hop, switch sides. That leg goes back, arm goes to the floor, towards the floor. Okay, so we're not coming all the way up like this each time. That plus the lateral movement will get you very like woozy dizzy. So keep your head nice and level. And a low plank with a toe tap. A low plank doesn't necessarily mean floor. Low plank means elbows. So even if you're doing this on an incline, you'll still do the low plank version, which is on the elbows. Okie dokie. It's also just called a standard plank. Anyways, so you're on your elbows, hips are level. We're tapping the feet out. 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, and so on. If your hips are too high and you're doing this, we'll take it to a modification instead. Now you can't do a knee plank with this because it really just doesn't work. Tapping the knees out just doesn't work. So if the toe plank, if it's can't get down with the floor, or you're not there yet being able to do a toe plank because this is all new for you still, we're gonna take it onto an incline. So grab a chair or something. At the clubs, obviously the boxes, elbows on that surface, and do your plank like that. The toe taps are also, like I said, count each side separately. So 1, 1, 2, 2, 3, 3, and so on. And then after you would finish that full round, you'd go to your 1 minute of kind of a sprint on your cardio machine, come back, and then you go to 10 reps of everything in 8, 6, 4, and 2. Okay, hope you enjoy our drop set. See you back for week 9 next week.